Hello, hello, hello. Is anybody here to join the stream? Hello. I'm going to wait a couple minutes. Hopefully, some folks will join us. If you are joining us, please speak now or forever hold your pieces. Is anybody here? Hello. Waiting for some folks to join us. I seem to be the only one in here. It's lonely at the top. Anybody coming in? I would hate to start this and then have like nobody show up. It's kind of, I guess I'm one of those people who should not do live videos because nobody ever comes. Hello, hello. Anybody coming? Anybody here? Well, I am thoroughly parched, but I'm going to go ahead and start this review of Silk Best Look. If you are not familiar with me, my name is Barbara, and but I think most of you are. I'm just turning up the lights a little bit so you can see this a bit better. So what do we have here? This is the last gift set that Robert Best and the Silkstone line are doing. There is another doll coming shortly. It's going to be a ball gown doll. I think it's called Best to Gala. And frankly, if the last two dolls are anything to go by, we should not get our hopes up. Best 2T was problematic. She was in a boucle suit the boucle was not made well. It was made with synthetic yarns that were not as rough as I expected them to be, but they weren't exactly soft either. And there were just little things off about it, which included the fact that the strings that tied her into the box were also sewn into the boucle jacket, which I thought was a bit ridiculous. Anyway, let's start talking about this doll. There are some things that I want to talk about that I've already heard some folks talking about this doll, about her hair. The pictures had stated that her hair was going to be a little bit more full than it actually is. It is heavily product and very hard to the touch. So you would have to wash this out and brush it out. Rooting, it's not the worst. Oops, no, I want you guys to see what I'm saying. It's not the worst rooting job I've ever seen. But it doesn't, it doesn't take that much to expose the hair. So to get it to be as full as it looks in the promo pictures, you will need to reroot the hair. It's also not as long because even though there is a defined curl here, which again, you need to see what I'm seeing, even though there's a defined curl here, I'm not entirely sure that if you rolled it out, it would be as long as it looks. Her makeup is nice. It matches the ensemble appropriately. It is gray at the top with a highlight gray between the upper and lower lid, drawn in eyeliner in black, as well as drawn in eyelashes, and a very red glossy lip, which is appropriate to the time period that Silkstones were supposed to be late 40s, early 50s. The ensemble is the next problem that people had, but I'm going to hold off on getting to that. I want to talk about the other pieces first. The first thing I want to talk about is the fur that goes around her. It can either be worn as a muff like this, or it's supposed to be able to go around her neck. This will also close with a snap. Oh, I should say it will close with a snap. Hold that thought. Here we go. Will close with a snap. Hold that thought. Will it close? Come on. So obviously I'm having trouble closing the snaps, guys. Sorry. There we go. It makes for a double collar. The fur itself is soft, but it's not lined. Well, it is. Well, actually, this is interesting. I've seen in some reviews that it's not lined at all. Here, it's lined with a kind of netting, the same kind of, strangely enough. It appears to be the same kind of netting as her stockings. That is very strange. They took some more of her pantyhose and lined the fur with it. Okay. The next look, or looks, I should say, she comes with a part which is supposed to be a party ensemble, which is some lingerie, a bodice lingerie, which is going to close with plastic button snaps. A lot of people were very upset that these are button snaps, and they're all, by the way, button snaps on the suit. Okay, and I'll talk a little bit more about. And people were upset about the button snaps on the suit and on all the ensembles. I'm going to be honest with you, considering that Best to Tea, everything closed with Velcro, plastic snaps are a step up for them. I don't know if that means this is a good thing or not. Um, I mean, if they set the bar so low with Best to Tea, part of me is like, oh wow, this is really great. The other part of me is like, huh. But I'm of two minds about that. But let me go ahead and finish this first. Uh, this is lingerie, so on the one hand, why would you line it? The seaming is decent. It's not the best seaming I've ever seen on the inside of lingerie. But it's okay. This is lace, couple of layers of tulle and lace to make up the bodice. The skirt is a little better. The skirt is lined. This is the lining of the skirt. It's like a nude pink, as I like to call it. It's that kind of pink that goes toward the nude. And the edging is black to give the bottom of the skirt some depth. This is all elastic, but the skirt itself, which is one layer of lace and one layer of very rough, I don't want to say this is tulle, but it is tulle-esque. So it's one layer of lace, one layer of like a tulle lining, and then the second layer, which goes underneath. And I think you're supposed to be able to tell back to front because there's a seam that will go toward the back. And the back is going to, and this also, by the way, will close with snaps. So this is the second look, and I may or may not put her in this, but we'll see. It's not a terrible look. It would be a lot better if we had something more to make it pop besides what I have here, which is the string of pearls. Good news, it's triple layer, which is good news for me because I don't have a triple layer anymore. It is a clasp of some kind. I don't even see, but in this case, I don't know who did this, but it's going to be very tricky to get this on and off because the loop is so tight. This is so tight. It's going to be very tricky to get the loop on and off. I mean, I suppose for appearance's sake, I should put this on, but this could take a while. But here we are. It's a Friday night in the middle of a pandemic. Where are we going to go? See, my other concern is, and this comes from, and Integrity has this issue, I've in the past broken the jewelry. So I'm afraid for that. But I'm going to just put her down. And maybe not put her down. And try this again. I guess now would be a good time to talk about the snaps while I'm putting her necklace on. I'm not terribly crazy about the snaps, but then again, one, it's not the Velcro, so yay. Two, I had not bought anything off of Barbie Collector in this quarter, so I got my platinum status discount plus free shipping, so it wound up making this doll $40 off the $100 price. So I basically got like a $40 discount. So again, yay. But ultimately, I also started thinking about this. This was made in Indonesia, which was kind of a surprise because I was led to believe, and I trust my source, that when Mattel really cares about a product, they have the factories in China do it. So the fact that this got sent to Indonesia kind of should hit a lot of warning bells for a lot of people, not the least of which, frankly, should be Robert Best, who I would think would have enough pull now with Mattel that he could insist on the factory where his things are made. This is why people don't do live videos, because when you can't get the jewelry on. Anyway, but my other thought about of buttons is that what if they couldn't get the supplies? What if all they had on hand were plastic? Especially since they were in Indonesia, and Indonesia is where they have the lesser quality runs. They have a deadline. They got to meet that deadline. So, yeah, I'm really glad I held off talking about the buttons to trying to put this necklace on, because it's not happening. If anyone's ever figured out a trick to doing this and you're sitting on it, please be generous to the rest of the doll community and share. Well, so yeah, guys, I'm just giving up. I cannot get this on, and I'm sorry. I will. Oh, somebody's here! Yay! Yes, if you've just joined us, I was not molesting the doll. I was trying to get the necklace on and couldn't. So, who's ever joined us, please share. All right. So, but just to finish up what I was saying, I know that a lot of people are upset about the plastic buttons, but my feeling is, since this was in Indonesia, this may have been all the supplies they had on hand. So they didn't have the Benel snaps. I'm also not entirely in love with her brooch, because I think I saw a couple of promo pics where the brooch was supposed to go on to the evening wear, and this is clearly sewn on to her suit jacket, which, by the way, is not lined. There is no lining here. I was kind of hoping there might be, since again I'd heard that the fur was not lined, but then I saw some lining on mine, so I was, oh wow, whoever it was left. So anyway, it's not lined. The seaming though is decent on this. Note too, by the way, this is not. She doesn't even have a camisole on, at least with Best to Tea and the outfit she had. There was at least a camisole. There isn't in this case. Let me see if I can take the tag off without crying too much. Yeah, it seems to be coming. I'm going to take the tag off, and I'm going to take... Oh, look at this! Well, they've kept her wrapped. I think it's for easy undressing. So while we're at it, let me take the jacket off and turn her to the back so I don't get busted for showing nudity. It does say Mattel fashion model, so this does indicate that this is not a Barbie signature. It clearly states fashion model, so this is the Silkstone. So I guess maybe this is where people get very upset that they're using the plastic buttons, but buttons to me are preferable than hook and eye, which I have a problem with. See the 10 minutes I just spent trying to put the necklace on. But again, I would have the same time it would have taken to sew this on. They could have made that a stick. They could have made this and it is a lovely brooch. It's pearl and fake diamond. It is a lovely brooch. And in the time they could have taken to sew it in, they could have just made it a stick and just stuck it on, and then it could go on the other evening wear. That would have been nice. Evidently, this is their answer to giving you dressing mitts. It's to wrap her in plastic. It's also to prevent staining, which I kind of appreciate, but not really. So let me get it. Let me lift her off the stand. Obviously, these are imitation stockings. The stockings are not, they're stockings. I mean, this is not anything like, oh my God, these are the softest I've ever felt. They're not by any stretch. The skirt, also not lined. It's a charming pattern. I'm going to keep this outfit. It's a charming pattern. I like the pattern. It's a simple, and I do like the buttons. But again, if this was 10 years ago, this suit would be fully lined, probably in black suiting. And she would not, and if she did have on a bodysuit to prevent staining, it would have probably been something in the, either like a pearl gray, or it would have been white. It would not have been this. Now, I'm not going to take the stockings off because it means taking off the bodysuit as well, and I don't want to go through that. I will say I like the shoes. They are period appropriate. Yeah, they are period appropriate shoes. Like, they are not double rubber banded on. Also like. So this will make her easier to redress. So let's just go ahead and do that then. Let's redress her. And this would be the point, I guess we would all, if there were more of us here, we would all be talking. So I'm just going to keep talking as I redress her. I don't. Oh, okay. Before I do that, very quickly, I'm very surprised she has toes. The last couple of dolls I've gotten from the Silkstone line, she hasn't even had proper toes, but in this case she does, and they're painted even. They're red toenails, so hey. I heard somebody say earlier that they were a little disappointed that this didn't have earrings. Mattel has not been sculpting ears on the Silkstones recently, and I don't think she's really an exception. I may have to take this off to get, you know what? I may have to take this off to get this up. Is this gonna not go up? If I don't take, yep, all right. I have to take the bodysuit off to get this on, so. Here comes the I'm not in love with this because this means the suit's not gonna go back on as easily. I mean, on the one hand, this isn't a bad idea, especially if you're trying to redress dolls in the summer. This, on the one hand, it does make it easier that you have something smooth like that. On the other hand, I'm like, okay, whatever. All right, so let's try again. I suppose you could also leave this on, and it would be sort of 80s children. Here's your reference, Day to Night Barbie type of look, except it would have been cool if that black skirt then was lined, and you unfurl it, and then all of a sudden it turns into. Do I have to take this? I have to take the stockings. Wow. This is no. I should not. It would not unless. Nope. I got it. Here we go. I was starting to think the stockings were going to have to come off too, but they don't. Okay. So, a trick I learned a long time ago, by the way, is to do the poof tool, the tool that gives the skirt its body last. Put the main part on first. Okay, so that's what I'm going to do. To take the tool out again and put the main part of the skirt on first. Yeah, all of y'all on Instagram who said you were going to come and watch this live, y'all are liars. And I should have known better. Oh well. And I have to tell you, putting the skirt on, and I don't know if it's because I needed to take the stockings off ahead of time, because they're adding just that much more weight to it that I can't get it on. Or maybe I have to pull this up further. Yeah, it had to go up further. Never mind. Here we go. And as I said, you know it's the back because there is seaming. So we push this all the way up. We pull the skirt down. And there it is. That is the look. I don't know why. I don't know how much higher I should have the tool because you can see the pink a little bit underneath. But there we go. So that is her night look. Or most of the night look. Which really to me doesn't seem like a going out look. It's more like this would be the undergarments that would go with a fuller black gown. But that's my humble opinion. The extra pair of shoes are not anything really to write home about. They're black flats. Obviously a highly accentuated heel and base. That's because of her high arch. And instead, now this is cute. Again, this is white gloves. I probably would have gone with something a little bit different for a little more pop, maybe a pink. That's certainly what they would have done in the past. And the clutch is okay. I mean, it's okay. Oops. It's okay. It is okay. It is not anything particularly wonderful. Oh, hey, Bill. Hi. Are you still with us? I just saw you say good evening. Hey, are you still here? I'm sorry. Yay. Okay. So this is the second piece. This is the evening piece. So this is, I was just about to say, this is the purse. Yes, you can put stuff in it. And if this was 10 years ago, we would have stuff to put in it, like the invitation and a compact, but we get nothing. It's just a black sateen with a couple of pearl detailing. So it's not anything spectacular there. I was talking, I did already go through the suit. Yeah, it is. It's sad, but though I don't know if you heard me talking about this part, but just to quickly recap. The Silkstones used to be made in China, and according to the box, this was made in Indonesia. So the fact that this was made in Indonesia, that already means it's like that's the one tear down factory. So this is the factory where they being Mattel, sends the things they like, but don't necessarily love or don't necessarily care that much about. So, you know, care goes out the window. But also, this is, you know, the fact that they sent this to Indonesia, would they have had the supplies to, for example, use something other than plastic snaps? Because a lot of people were very upset about the plastic snaps. So, and they probably would have known to do something here that would have made it easier to put the necklace on. I literally cannot get this necklace on. So I'm going to have to think of ways to do that. I will say this, and this had me thinking. I saw a review where this was not lined at all. This is lined a little bit with, for lack of a better word, pantyhose. This is like a pantyhose feel. But I saw a version of this muff where it was not lined at all. So I am inclined to think that the next order of dolls, they may make things a little bit better. How much better, I don't know. Because if the factory is still in Indonesia, then the issues with care are still going to be there. You're still going to have people who can't do full roots in hair, because this was another thing that I heard people talking about, and they're right. The hair is not as well rooted as it should be. So here you go. I'm gonna have her sort of like this with her muff. If this was, I mean, this, as I said, it's supposed to be the nightwear, and it's not a night look. It's like she just got out of a ball gown. That's what this is. So it's a very, this is a very hard call to make. Yes, you do get two very nice black shoes. Yes, you get two pairs of evening gloves, white and black. But then again, these are things you can pretty much now get anywhere. You can get them off of Macari, you can get them off of eBay, you can get them off of Facebook. When people are selling all of their extras. So, and again, this is not a bad suit. It's really not. It's not a bad suit. It's charming enough, I suppose. Yes, I'm kind of annoyed it's not lined, but after the boucle Best to Tea was not lined, I wasn't expecting it. Yes, it closes with plastic snaps. It's not Velcro. I mean, it's like when you set the bar so low, you can basically do that. I just saw like 2 other people joined us. Can you please sign in, mystery guests? You've now joined the cast of To Tell the Truth. Can you please sign in, mystery guests, and say good evening? Because we have 3 people watching this. I'm disappointed because this is a really nice brooch. I'm very disappointed this is not a pin. That I can't just lift it out and then maybe put it on the fur or as a clasp. Hi, Magic Paws. How are you? Nice of you to join us. I appreciate it. Here it is, Best to Tea. Did you, Magic Paws, Bill, was there a particular part of her look or the doll herself that you wanted me to look at or talk about? I know there's a third person who has joined us. Is there a particular part of this that you wanted me to talk about or address? I think I've pretty much covered what the main concerns were, and unfortunately I do agree with all of them. The one thing I haven't done yet, but I will do now, yeah, somebody was saying, well, why doesn't she come with earrings? Well, there's a really good reason why. She barely has an ear. Yes, I did say this, Magic, just a second ago before you signed on. Yeah, it is totally see-through. It is totally see-through. I did see the Chanel movie. Are you talking about the very end of the movie when she redresses the niece, Bill? No, just the overall look. Well, yeah, that's probably why Chanel redressed her niece, because she looked so bad. But yes, Magic Paws, this is as see-through as it would be, even more see-through if I took the slip off. But yeah, this is as see-through as it appears. I'm very surprised by that, because this is supposed to be the night look, and there's not anything really there to give it punch. It really looks and feels like this should be worn under the suit, which makes 1,000% sense. So let's go ahead and do that. Maybe the reason why it's not going under the suit is because it won't fit. But let's go ahead and do that real fast. I mean, traditionally, now I also made mention as a child of the 80s to the Day to Night Barbie line. And if he wanted to kill two birds with one stone, it really would have been cute if Robert had designed this skirt to flip out and go full. So then she would have had the full skirt with the bodice underneath, and that could have been her night look. But that is not what is happening. So yes, this will close. The skirt closes. Whoops. The skirt closes very easily if you weren't an idiot. The skirt closes over this, and now this will make more sense, because previously when I didn't have the bodice on, if they had used Chanel with similar accessories, it could have worked. Well, if wishes were horses, my friend. This is like this is basically their, I don't want to say they gave up on the line, but then again, as I said, these used to be made in China. The jacket, I'll take the jacket off real fast to show you. The jacket does have the old fashion model line. So this should, by all rights, be a fully lined jacket and skirt, but it's not. So should have quit while I was ahead. All right. Well, I have to say, previously when I've had jackets like this, it's been harder to get the jackets on and off without a dressing mitt, but this isn't too bad. Maybe it's because the Silkstone is so soft. Okay. I do appreciate that her arms bend, because it is making putting the jacket on a lot easier. Okay, so tuck in the collar. And I just want to point out my eternal gratitude that, unlike Best to Tea, they did not sew in the ties to tie around her neck to keep her in the box. Now, this also looks better and it fits better. And with the black underneath, it fits, as opposed to the plastic bodysuit, the jacket's closing a whole lot better. So, yeah. I mean, if this was a few years ago, you would have had also a hat, which they were supposed to have a hat. They chickened out on the hat for some reason. I also saw people had, and I guess they added it from their own collection. I thought I saw that there was supposed to be some kind of fascinator, but there's no fascinator. So yeah, I'm kind of getting to that part where I'm supposed to say, yeah. I definitely wish I had kept my Silkstones, or at least the outfits, if for no other reason, just to say, hey, you used to be able to do this, WTF. So I would be, frankly, and I will be frank about this, I would be a lot more angry about the quality of this whole thing if I would be a lot more upset about the quality if it was not a situation where I got basically $40 off of her. Her retail price is $100, but I'm a platinum member of the Collectors Club. I got my quarterly discount. I got free shipping. Basically worked out to like $40 off. So this doll was really $60. So, but even for a $60, and then somebody says, well, for a $60 doll, you should not have plastic snaps. No, you should not. But I'm not entirely sure that the plastic snaps were their fault. I think that might also be a fault of they couldn't get the supplies into Indonesia. I don't know. So at this point, this is the, and do you complain that she doesn't have an ear and this doesn't have earrings? I mean, it's not I mean, It's terribly hard for people with really thick fingers like me to put the necklace on. It's a beautiful triple choker. I wish I could get it on, but I sat here for like 5 minutes trying to get it on, and I just could not get the hoop through. Um, I mean, we're not talking price point wise. Again, when it comes to like getting pearl rings, I guess they felt like everybody kind of has the pearls in their collection, so we don't have to make it. Okay, fine. You want to make that argument. Okay. But then at least give her ears. Give her ears. She doesn't have ears. She barely has ears, and certainly nowhere near as defined as we're seeing now on other figures. So, ladies and gentlemen, it's coming up to the 40-minute mark, and unless Magic, Bill, you have anything else you want to ask or talk about, I'm going to come up. These are my final thoughts. There isn't the pieces. You do get 2 pairs of gloves and 2 pairs of shoes, but really there isn't enough here to justify the $100 price point, especially when you think about what this doll and this look used to be. Um, Compared to Best to Tea, which was about as close to a disaster of a doll as Robert Best should be putting his name on, this is better. But I'm setting the bar kind of low here. So, what do? This is usually even a time where I would say if you like one thing, break the set up. But if you were looking to get a really nice redhead, it's not even worth it to reroute it, because if you're spending $100, you shouldn't then have to spend another 100 to reroute her. Yeah, this is considering that this is the type of look that Barbie had when she literally was Mattel, when she was the only company of Mattel. Yeah. Um, this is not particularly good, and she does deserve better. So on the one hand, I can't even say I'm kind of excited to see what the gala dress is going to look like. It's the kind of curiosity when it's like, yeah, this is going to be a disaster. I just want to see, like, on the disaster scale, 1 to 10, 1 being okay, I can manage it, 10 being holy crap. I kind of want to see where this is going to work out, but I'm not going to be terribly surprised if this is a disaster. So, guys, I'm gonna have to say it. I think you're gonna have to wait. First of all, do not pay more than $100 for this. Yes, I know that this is on. Hello to whoever just walked in. I see that we have a 4th person who has just joined us. I would have to say, introduce yourself, magical 4th person. I would have to say basically don't do it. Don't pay more than $100. Wait for it to come back in stock on Barbie.com and Barbie Signature. And even then, think really hard about what you want. Try to wait. If you are a member of the Barbie Collectors Club, try to wait and use your quarterly discounts. Get the free shipping. Because really, it's not. If I had paid full price for this, I'd be a lot more pissed off right now. Oh yes, you're late, but hello, yes, Vince. Basically, I'm giving my final thoughts. Hey, Vince. Basically, um, my final thought is it taking what everybody has said about this altogether. It is as bad as what people are saying. Um, so um, it's no bueno. It's just not bueno. So if I'm gonna have to say, guys, you should wait the 4 months until the prices come down on this. And if you're going to get anything that really has some merit, just get the suit. The suit is great. I do like the suit a lot. I'm gonna keep the suit. Get the suit. If you really like her as you really like this face, then understand you can't really do much with her hair. It's not a full root. It's not a spectacular rooting job. Um, Certainly don't pay more than 50 for the new doll. Don't pay more than 40 for the suit. And be prepared that if you're going to get this and the lingerie, it is very sheer. You will see right through it. So it's not even an appropriate evening look. It's more like a classic 50s undergarment. It's they're well-made 1950s undergarments. It's not a night look. So just keep that in mind too. All right, guys. Um I will now open the room to venting. Bill has been venting right along. Would anyone else like to vent about this evening and about the state of Mattel? Forever hold your peace. Magic Paws, Vince, mystery fifth person. Anybody? All right, so I'm gonna wrap it up here then, and I'm just gonna let you know. For those of you who are watching this or who have come in a little bit late, I start my review about 3 minutes in. I waited about 3 minutes for people to come. And I started my review like 3 minutes in. Did you fluff her hair out? I did not. I did not. All I did, Vince, was take her off the stand and I brought her in close to check out the lack thereof rooting. That is about all I did. So, I mean, there is a hairnet. I took the hairnet off. That's about it. I did talk. This is pretty, what I'm holding in my hand here, this is pretty firm. So I couldn't fluff her hair out if I wanted to. I would have to wash this out. Yeah. Eek is a good word. Oh, we have somebody else. A sixth person has joined us. It wasn't a tough job. I mean, when I started this channel, Bill, I started it to be honest. I wanted to be nice, but I also felt it was important to be honest. So as long as I know that I'm not beholden to anyone, I don't get the Barbies for free, so I'm kind of beholden to Mattel. As long as I know I can be honest about it. It's not hard, but I don't enjoy telling people a product sucks. I've only really had to do that once, and I hated doing that video. But yeah, I mean, it's hard for me because I love Barbie, and I don't see them doing anything in the coming year that's going to keep me connected to Mattel. So yeah, I mean, it's sad. It's sad that way. So all right, guys. So I agree. She does. I mean, she if you're paying, it's not like there's a $5.99 Barbie anymore. If there was a $5.99 Barbie with Velcro and painted on underwear or painted on top and a skirt you can take off, the skirt closes with Velcro for $5.99, fine. But there's no $5.99 Barbie anymore, and when you get up into the higher price points, and certainly with the Silkstone line, most of this is not okay. It really is not okay, and that's why I'm basically telling everybody, don't buy it whole. Wait to piece it out. Get the pieces that you really want, and maybe play out my hunch. I have a hunch that the next dolls that are coming may be made a little bit better, and you might see a little less diaphanousness. Is that a word? The lingerie may be less see-through, but we'll have to wait and see. All right, guys. So for Barbara and for Silkstone best look, which frankly is not the best look that Robert Best ever came up with. You want the best look from Robert Best, you're gonna have to go wait. You're gonna have to go to the Dusk Till Dawn gift set from way back in the day, and this didn't even come close. Um, for me and for Barbie, I will see you in my next review. I'm kind of guessing it's going to be another Remet review along with some other miniatures. It might be Mad for Milan if it comes through as fast as I think it's going to. But otherwise, I will see you in my next review. And unless there are anybody else in the live room, anybody else want to say goodbye, good night, tell us a joke? All right. Good night, Bill. Good night, Vince. Good night, Magic Paws. Good night, two people who never introduced themselves, but I greatly appreciate that you were here. And I thank you for coming by. Maybe maybe it was a bot. Who knows? A Russian bot. Uh, good night to the Russian bots. Good night to all of you. Take care. Bye bye.